We got this complaint that my husband always corrects me in front of others. My name is Paul Friedman. I founded the Marriage Foundation. And this is frustrating. And it's worse than that for some people. For some people, a husband will actually say, "Shut up," to his wife in front of other people. Or condemn her. "What the hell do you know?" in front of other people. Could be, we could call it rude, but it goes way beyond that. And you got to ask, why would someone ever do that? And I can't answer that. For me, it doesn't mean he's a bad husband in other respects. It does mean that he's ill-mannered, clearly. It does mean that he's disrespectful, and yet he could be a great dad, right? So what do? That's where I want to go with this. And I don't want to judge your husband because he may have some other qualities that are amazing. I don't know. Now, if in general he's horrible, that's a whole nother topic, isn't it? But let's just deal with this one, where he's just rude and he corrects you. And maybe it's not as extreme as the other examples I pointed out. And my approach is always very positive. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, you should, so you'll learn so much about how to behave in your marriage, how to think, how to perceive your own marriage. It's very important. And so what is going on in your marriage is a place where we should start. Because I'm pretty sure your marriage is not great. I'm pretty sure if he's correcting you in front of other people, he's also doing it when there aren't other people, that he is critical of you. Men generally don't behave that way towards women who are, and you're going to get mad at me, but don't. They don't treat women who are submissive that way. What happens is, and I'm not telling you be submissive, don't misunderstand, but you need to understand why a man would do that. Men are more naturally, and I'll get arguments on this one too, but men are more naturally defensive than women. At the very least, they operate differently, their defense mechanisms. Men tend to be preaggressive. If they're even concerned a little bit that they may be attacked, they will attack first. This is typical of men. And so if your husband, because that's an attack, don't misconstrue this as anything other than an attack for him to correct you. It is personal. He's going after you. And I'm sharing this with you because it ties with the solution. So understand that in his mind, he's ready for you to attack him. And so he's attacking you. Women who are submissive usually don't get that kind of treatment. Now, they may feign submissiveness and pretend to be submissive, but I mean the truly submissive women aren't treated that way. Not usually. And if they are, it's usually in a joking fashion. It's almost loving. It's borderline loving behavior. The men are just not good at being protective men, and they're treating their wife like a pal. Because men treat each other that way. It's not unusual for a man to correct another man in front of other people. It's what they do, what we do. But your marriage is supposed to be based on love, connectedness, mutual support, and all of that good stuff that is based in love. So you might want to ask yourself, and this is in no way to blame you for his behavior. I hope I've already been clear about that. But you may want to ask yourself how you are with him, not in front of other people. You can't just differentiate, because that just happens to be where he's able to nail you. But how are you with him when no one's watching? Are you critical? Do you complain? Or are you supportive and loving? So that's something to look at. Now, because that could change everything. Now, what do you do when he does that? Well, if you respond as if you have been struck, you are fulfilling his subconscious, it may not be his conscious, but his subconscious desire to inflict pain upon you. If you do not respond in a way that makes it look like you got hurt, he'll stop. And I'm serious. You got to come up with a method that will work for you and work for him. I'll give you an example. I'll pretend that I'm the wife, okay? And I just made a statement like, oh yeah, it's 8 miles to the farm. And he goes, no, it's 12 miles to the farm. And if you blah, 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 you would have known that. That's just an example. Being the woman, I will go, oh God, you're right. I can't believe I got that wrong. So what you're doing is you're turning it around. You're doing some judo on him, where instead of taking the attack head on and getting smushed, you're turning it around, but you're not turning it into hurt him. You're turning it into expressing love and acknowledgement of what a great and smart and wonderful guy he is. Because that's where you always want to come from. No matter what's happening, you want to be pushing love and happiness into your marriage. Does this make sense to you? I think it should. I think I've explained it well. So like the video, if it's worked for you, leave a comment and subscribe. Go to our website, themarriagefoundation.org. I am Paul Friedman. I founded the Marriage Foundation, and we're here for you. Thank you for your time, and God bless. Take care.